Hey y'all, this is Saliba. I said the Money Metaphysician, and today, well, this evening, because I did a live stream earlier, so I just was kind of moved today to come in and share with you why I personally get my head wrapped right here. Why I personally will be with Carrot Bars until I die, and why I think it is that you should too. And I know the light is not that good. I was just in this space right now, and I needed to say this real fast. And so I don't really care what I look like. Not it's impossible for me to look bad. So that doesn't matter to me. But most people that know me personally, and probably most likely if you're connected to me on social media and you've been connected with me for a while, you know that I'm a Carrot Bars affiliate, because probably 95% of everything I post is Carrot Bars. Yeah, pretty much everything I post is Carrot Bars. I really don't post about anything else because I don't live my life for social media or for validation. So I get on social media because, of course, I have a message to bring, and that's where the people are. And you are the people that I'm talking to. So I came into Carrot Bars on December 22nd, 2017. So the 22nd of this month will be a year that I've been with Carrot Bars. Anyone that knows me should know that if I'm going to stick around with something and remain as passionate about it, it has to be something to it. And of course, one of the questions I get all the time when I share Carrot Bars with people is, well, are you making any money? Yes, I do. I get paid on Friday, and I get paid on the first of the month. And that's an awesome thing to have a means of making a living for myself. Peace, Shala, how are you? Hey, Lenny. Hey, Shantae. You guys, I see all of y'all on here. But to have a way to make a living for myself without having to do anything really substantial or, exceedingly time consuming, is a wonderful thing. To have something that I love to do is even more wonderful. But that's not the most important thing. And if I can't get anybody to understand anything from this live stream, then the thing that I want to be understood is whenever someone shares Carrot Bars with you, be it myself or any of the other affiliates out here, one of the biggest mistakes that you make, and one of the ways in which you really, really do damage to yourself, is making the mistake of believing, because of what you've already seen and what your experience has been, is to look at Carrot Bars and say, oh, that's another one of those direct sales, personal sales, whatever you want to call it, network marketing. That's just another one of those, whatever. That is one of the gravest mistakes you could ever make when it comes down to looking at Carrot Bars. Don't allow yourself to allow the compensation structure and the way the business is legally set up, because it's a business. So Carrot Bars is a company that is an e-commerce company that has an affiliate program. Don't allow the fact that it's an affiliate program and you've seen other affiliate programs and you've seen other network marketing companies and you've seen all this stuff throughout your life, that you make the mistake of saying, oh, well, that's just another one of those. I know what that's about. Don't do that. Because when you do that, you are going to hurt yourself. When it comes to Carrot Bars, because Carrot Bars is nothing like anything else you've ever seen in your life. There's nothing else that you have in the world too. Okay, that's good. Shala, I'm glad you watched it, and we'll talk about it and build about it a little bit later probably after this stream. But don't make the mistake of looking at Carrot Bars or not looking at it and just assuming that you know what Carrot Bars is. The next thing about Carrot Bars is forget everything that you thought you ever knew about money, because I can promise you, you don't know what you think you know. Believe that. Because if you want to know how you know that you don't know nothing about money, look around you. Are you independently wealthy? Are you financially free? Okay, then you don't know nothing about money. If you look around, you got a lot of stuff that you owe for. You have a lot of stuff on borrowed money. You don't know anything about money. Look at your credit card statement. If you're carrying a balance, you don't know nothing about money. Your car note, if you have a car note, if you didn't purchase your vehicle cash, you don't know anything about money. So that's how you can tell. That's how you can tell, because people who know about money don't make stupid money decisions. And when I say stupid, I mean in the sense of ignorance, that is not knowing better. So when you know better, you do better, correct? So that's one of the things that I want to say. Don't make the mistake of looking at Carrot Bars and saying, oh, well, this is this, or this is that, or this is this, because you are going to mess up. Let me just tell you that. Okay, so getting back to me and my story and why I will never, ever, 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 as long as I am drawing breaths, I will be with Carrot Bars. And that is a promise. And it's very rare. I don't give my word any type of way. I believe firmly that my word is my bond, and my bond is life. And so when I give my word, that's something that I mean. So when I say I will be here until either I don't exist anymore or Carrot Bars don't exist anymore. So whichever happens first, that's how long I'll be here. The reason that is, though, is because first and foremost, I can't speak to you. I need you to understand this. I can't speak to you about anything until I know what I'm speaking to you about. You understand? I can't tell you something as actual fact until I have proven it to be actual fact. How do I prove something to be actual fact to you? Is by experiencing it for myself. So when I tell you that Carrot Bars changed my life, I'm saying to you, I don't know whether it'll change your life or not, because I don't know. I can't speak to your drive. I can't speak to the effort you're going to put into it. I can't speak to the way that you're going to see it, but I know what I did. And I can tell you that if you do what I did, then you will probably get similar results to the results that I got. So I can tell you it changed my life, and I could say that I firmly believe that it'll change any life of any person who is in possession of it, and that follows the duplication process that we have in place. Like if you follow that, you really can't go wrong in Carrot Bars, because there's nothing to go wrong. There's nothing to do wrong. If you come in and you save gold, you're going to have gold. This is if you don't do anything else but save gold, you're going to have gold. There's no way to not have gold. Good afternoon, pretty brown eyes, Antoine Philippine. How are you out there in California? So that's the thing. You're going to have gold if you save gold. Nothing for me to trick you about that. If you save it, you'll have it. If you acquire a business packet, you're going to be in the dual team. Nothing to trick you about that. If you go and share this information with others, and others come in and they use it to save gold and build wealth for themselves, you will get paid. There's nothing for me to trick you about that. That's the way that it works. So it's not rocket science. That's the first thing to understand. It's really simple. The concept is really simple. I think that the concept of just sharing and being part of a group economics is so foreign to us now. We've got so removed from actually sharing and cooperating and unifying we're so immune, we're so desensitized to that as being our true nature that it's like a foreign concept to you. But most indigenous peoples are cooperative by nature. Tribal communities or cooperate. That's how they keep their tribes going. It is by us becoming like every man is an island, that attitude, or every man for himself, that's the attitude, that divide and conquer mindset that's what has caused us to be in the situation that we're in. When we see our people competing against each other rather than working together for the common good of all of us, that's a problem. And so the thing that I love the most about Karatbars, other than is change my life by simply me having a system to activate and to use as a savings vehicle, first of all, because I have enough understanding, or I've studied enough to understand that I can't save dollars. I understand that anything you can't increase through subtraction. Let's talk about it from a mathematical point of view, because that's how I think. I think in mathematics. So I'm going to always come, and mathematics don't lie. You can't make math into a lie. So let's talk about it from a mathematical and a scientific point of view, and with logic and reason, before we even look at the metaphysical side, or just look at the logic and reason behind it. I understand logically that if something is constantly being subtracted from, I can't save it. If something is constantly becoming less, you can't save it. It's like, again, I use the analogy and it works. It is true. It's like trying to save water, and you got the water in a bucket and the bucket has a hole in it. You can't, there's no way. The only way that you can save water in a bucket with a hole in it is to somehow stop the leak. And so how do you stop the leak in the fiat currency that's constantly depreciating? Is you have to not save that currency. What you have to do is you have to hedge yourself against inflation by taking that wealth. We look at it as money, but what you're actually doing is, so the paper is actually a container that holds your wealth. So you have the container that is holding your wealth, and then you have another container that's able to hold your wealth a little bit better. So what do? If you have a bucket at home with a hole in it and you find that you're losing the water, you take it and put it in another container that doesn't leak, or you stop the leak. That's the only two things you do. So those things right there stand just logically. Like, you don't even have to understand Karatbars at all. This is before you even get to looking at Karatbars. It's just, you already know that you can't, mathematically, you can't add something and subtract it at the same time. Like, if you subtract from, it's less, and if you add on, it's more. But if you're adding on at the same time that you're subtracting, you're just staying in the same place, because the more you add, the more you're losing. So that's not rocket science. We understand that. So if you understand that is the way mathematics work, then you understand that you can't save dollars. Dollars don't save. They don't save. Dollars are for spending. Dollars are for doing whatever it is you got to do with the dollars. And I imagine that I would tell you to spend them quick, because you want to spend them while they can still buy something. The other thing is, when you do save, because you have to save to build wealth. So when you do save and keep your money, what you want to do is keep it in a container that doesn't allow your wealth to leak out. That container for us is gold. That's what I deal with, because I'm with Karatbars. So gold is what will allow me to be able to keep my money in a place that I'm not going to be losing wealth over the years. As long as I'm holding gold, well, I don't have to worry about, like, I see all these credit repair, and I want to say something about that, because that's a pet peeve of mine, a serious pet peeve. These credit repair network marketing companies or MLM. And I usually don't have a problem with network marketing companies, because network marketing as an industry is a multi-billion-dollar industry. Most naturally, it's the most natural way of earning, because it really is you simply doing something that your natural magnanimous personality, or your natural gregarious being, as a gregarious being and a social creature, networking is something that we naturally do. So I don't usually say things about network marketing companies, but the companies that deal with financials and credit repair and all that, I do have a pet peeve with those. First of all, credit repair, you repairing your credit rather. Those letters, that's all that they can do, and you can do that from home for yourself. Like, you don't have to pay somebody to do that. The next thing about credit is for broke people. Let me say it again. Credit is not for wealth builders. Credit is for broke people. Now, that's not to say that wealthy people don't have credit cards. Wealthy people just understand that if they have a credit card, they are in a position to get an interest-free loan from the credit card company, because the credit card company, doesn't make money off of you if you don't carry a balance. If you pay off your balance, you get an interest-free loan from the credit card company every month, or however you do it. But if you carry a balance, well, 80% of the credit card company's revenue comes from late fees and high interest. So late fees and high interest rates are where the credit card company makes money. Seriously, if everybody paid their credit card off on time, if everybody did that, the credit card company would disappear. They won't be able to stay in the business because they won't make any money. They make money off of people who don't know how to use a credit card, i.e. financially ignorant people. And so that is true. That's the truth about credit and things like that. The other thing is what we have here in our hands, though. And this is why I'm here to stay. And this is the main reason. It doesn't have anything to do with the money that I make. Yes, I do. I get paid, and I work really hard. I'm constantly developing my team. I'm constantly in Zoom. I think I do more Zoom meetings a day than just about anybody. Larry Bay says that I do more Zooms than he does live streams. So that's probably true. And I'm then in everybody else's meetings and contributing. So I'm busy. And one of the things I love about Carrot Bars is that we have a true family here, and we have a lot of love and a lot of support and a lot of respect amongst us as affiliates. However, that's not the main thing. The main thing is that I have in my possession a system that I can go out into my community. I say it over and over and over again until I'm going, at least you're going to understand, or you're going to get so tired of hearing it that you're going to jump off my page. And please feel free. It does not hurt my feelings at all. Feel free to utilize the unfriend and block functionality in your account, because that's what it comes with it for. So you can feel free. I don't really care, that if you release that spot, that's a spot that I can use for somebody else. Sharing my videos, I see a lot of that. I want to say this too. I see a lot of you guys share my stuff, and you share it and say listen up, but then you don't make an account for yourself. You're giving away money. Not in the sense of, if you were to share it and you had an affiliate link, you would actually get paid, because the people will use your affiliate link. I'm talking, but they'll hear me. But they'll use your affiliate link, and then you are now in position to earn from sharing the information. And that is important. So you have the ability you get paid from the free position. So even if you just did that much before you shared my thing, you could before you share my stream, you could put your affiliate link up there, and then those people will come under you. If you were to come here and come through my link, then I don't lose anything, because again, this is group economics. That means I get paid when I help you build wealth. If you're not building wealth, I don't get paid. Or at least I don't get paid as much. I get paid when you are building. So if you're building wealth for yourself, I have an incentive to help you become wealthy, because the more wealthy you become, the more wealthy I become. You see, that's group economics. That means I can't. We can. See, together we can. I can't, but we can. So that's the biggest thing. I have something that I can go out in my community and share with other people, and they can participate in for free, and they can change the financial dynamics of their households and their communities. And that's important. And people don't, it's a shame that people don't see past their own bank accounts to understand that your economic empowerment affects the economic empowerment of your communities. And when we start talking about, when I'm talking about changing the financial dynamics of your communities, we're talking about putting an end to things like our kids breaking into houses, and our kids killing each other, and our kids being in the path of these law enforcement officers or whatever, agents. We're talking about being able to now get rid of a real serious issue from our household, from the household point of view, like mothers and fathers having to be out of the house and at work, and they're not raising their children properly because somebody else is raising their children, and while they're gone, they don't know what kind of influence their children have, because you're just trusting. It's amazing that more people put so much faith in things like babysitters and the dollar and the government without giving any regard to what yourself. Like you trust those things more than you trust your own power to build wealth for yourself. And that's a hard pill for me to swallow, because I've never known anything else except for me to survive by my own will. And so when I have the ability to bring prosperity to someone else by their own will, and to give them a tool to use to do that, I would almost do that if I didn't get paid. Because it's just, if you're building wealth and I can show you how to build, if I'm building wealth, I can show you how to build wealth. Even if I didn't get paid when you're building wealth, I believe I will still show you, because the more wealth you build, the better it is for me and my children, and the safer it is. Every social problem that we have in our communities is rooted in money, is rooted in debt, is rooted in a lack of financial education, is rooted in a lack of self-development. So it's rooted in lack. And lack is the reason why we have crime, and we have our kids getting bussed off to the county or bussed off to prison by, they're getting bussed off to the belly of the beast, simply by being ignorant of the fact that, one, the dollars that they're out there chasing is not money, and that the dollar is the tool of the same master that has you enslaved. So when you are dealing with dollars and you're dealing with debt, what you're doing is you are basically subjecting yourself to a life of indentured servitude. You are willingly, voluntarily putting yourself in the position of a slave. You are in indentured servitude. An indentured servant is basically a slave that's working off his debt. And you are, for the rest of your life, when you enter into the workforce and you start to be a consumer and you start to live a commercial life and to accumulate debt, then you are pretty much signing yourself up to become an indentured servant or a slave. And so that's what I need you to understand, because as a people, we can't free ourselves until we have control of our wealth. You have to have money. Money is what makes you free. And so you start off with the economy in your home, and then you go out and share that with the next door neighbor, and the next door neighbor fixes the economy in their home. See, nobody's robbing, stealing, killing when they already got money. Nobody needs to be on the corner selling drugs when they got money. If you got money, you don't have to do all these things. You don't have to do all those things. So when I'm talking about getting together and locking arms, I'm looking always for those people. And don't get me wrong, if you just want to save gold and you don't want to share with people, I believe personally that comes from a selfish place, and it comes from a place that's counter to what's natural to the human. But that's on you. Like, I don't have time to discuss all that with you. If you want to just save gold, good, because that means that you're moving money through the system by saving, and you're building wealth for at least yourself and your household. And that means those of us that are out here on the front lines and sharing, we're benefiting from you saving. So if you just want to save, I'm not going to tell you that you can't have an account if you just want to save. Obviously, one of the ways in which you can participate in this system is to just save gold. So if that's what you want to do, that's fine. But that's not who I'm talking to. That's not who I'm looking for. Who I'm looking for is those people who claim, at least through lip service, you claim you want to make a positive change. You want to be an agent for change in the community. You claim that you want to, claim that you want to be someone who is taking the lead in helping people live better, be better. Then in that case, you will have to understand that this system is probably about the best way that you're going to be able to do it. Because what this system really is, I mean, we call it a business or whatever, but as my brother Larry Wiggins Bay always says, Larry calls this a self-development system with a compensation plan attached. You're going to learn, you're going to get personal development here, you're going to get financial literacy here, and then you have a real tool by which you can build really real wealth. Very real wealth. And even though this is not a get rich quick scheme at all, you can get wealthy quickly if you know what you're doing and you plug in and you follow directions. You can. And that's what the system is. So when you have something as powerful as that, it's literally in carrot bars, really, you'll accidentally trip up and fall into wealth. Like, you don't even try. You don't even have to try. Just in the system, you could literally fall into wealth. Like, you just never know. Case in point, I went to Miami. And in Miami at the year, earlier this year, we had multi-packs, like multi-packs with our crypto coins in it. I didn't have a multi-pack. I went to Miami and they gave me one. I wasn't expecting it, but I got it, and so I won't say what that multi-pack ended up doing, but I don't ever have to worry, just based on the multi-pack, I don't even have to worry about money ever again for the rest of my life, just with that. Not to mention, I get paid every Friday anyway, and all I'm doing is going out into the community and sharing information that everybody needs anyway. And the greatest thing about it is I don't have a product, good, or service that to sell anybody that they don't need. That's the problem. Now, if you want to really talk about somebody doing something just for themselves, if you're selling a product, good, or service, that's all you can be doing it for is yourself, because someone has to lose for you to win. And I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with products, goods, and services, because if you need a product, good, or service, I'm glad you got it. If I need it, I'm glad you got it. But I like the fact that my wealth doesn't depend on you buying something, because I feel pressure to get you to buy it whether you need it or not. I don't feel pressure to get you to build wealth. I'm trying to help you understand you need the wealth. You're in a bad situation. And the fact that you don't know you're in a bad situation makes it worse. I'm just trying to point out your situation to you. What you do about it after I point it out, that's on you. But if we all lock arms, we can reach more people. And the more people we reach, the more people will implement the system. And the more people that implement the system, the better our communities will be. So I will never, ever leave carrot bars, because for me, it's important that my children survive. And here's the thing. If your children are not safe, that means my children are not safe. If your grandchildren are not safe, that means my grandchildren are not safe. If your grandchildren robbed, steal, and kill, I got to worry about my children being robbed, stolen from, or killed. You see, if my children are robbing, stealing, killing, then you have to worry about them doing that to your children. And so until all the children are safe, and I'm saying children, but I mean our progeny, generations from now. And if somebody doesn't stand up and we start to move things in another direction, then we all are going to be in trouble. Because if you think things are tight now and they robbing, stealing, killing, just imagine what they're going to be like when the dollar goes to zero. And it will go to zero. There's no fiat currency ever in the history of the world that has not gone to zero. And so the dollar is going to do the same thing. And when it does, because the dollar, understand this, the dollar is the oldest U.S. currency that has not failed. It's been 48 years, almost 50 years, the dollar has been just losing value. It's way overdue. When will it? It could be at 99% for the next 20 years, and you could still be dealing with inflation for the next 20 years, or it could be in the next 2 years. The point is, we don't know. And if you don't know, anytime you don't know, all that time that you don't know, that's time for you to get prepared for when. That means you have time. But you could wake up tomorrow to be zero. You don't know. And that is what makes it important to go out and share with people, because if it goes to zero and it loses all its value, then if you think these kids are robbing, stealing, killing now, and you think you're getting hurt now, then imagine what they're going to do when they're really hungry. Imagine what they're going to do when you got something and they don't. Did y'all see The Purge? You see what the streets are like on that night when they had the purge? That's what every day will be like. And then your children really won't be safe. When all you have to do is lock arms with me and get out here and share this information and tell people you can save in gold, and tell people you can build your wealth, and you can get paid by going out and telling your people, because the more people, you know, people that I don't know. If I share with you, you go share with them. And when they build, we all eat. That's group economics. That's a corporative economy. That's collective work. That's what we all should be striving for. So when you tell me that you're a nation builder and I show you something like carrot bars and you say no, then I question whether or not you really are a nation builder or you even know what that means. Because there's no way that you are, first of all, intelligent. Because any intelligent person should look at carrot bars and say, I need that, just on the fact that you can get gold. Just based on the fact that you can get gold, that means that you should be doing this for yourself just because you can get gold. But then when I say you can share with other people how to keep their money as well in gold, physical gold that FedEx will bring to your house. So I say you can share with other people. That should tell you as a nation builder that you have something in your hand that is going to change your communities, the very thing that you claim that you want to do anyway. Do you want to do it, or do you just want to talk about it? Are you a nation builder, or are you just a person that talk about nation building? Because all I ever see in my stream is I see a whole bunch of talk. I see a whole bunch of people talking about this, that, and the other thing, and none of that stuff that y'all talk about is making nobody no more wealthy. All it's doing is stirring up contentions. And some of these are called so-called woke or so-called conscious people. You can feel how you want to feel. I don't care how you feel. I never did. I never do care. If I'm talking about the truth hurts sometimes. So if it hurt, that's just you. That's a personal issue that you need to deal with. So if you want to discuss it with me and you feel some kind of way like that, you can always hit me up. I'll be more than happy to help you see my logic. But if I see you talking about something and then I offer you a way to do something about it, then that means that you don't really want to do something. You just like to talk. That's called stroking your own ego because you like to talk to hear yourself talk, and you like to talk because you sound good to people who don't know no better. But somebody like me knows better, so I ain't really interested in your talk. I'm more interested in what you do, especially when you can get started for free. And it's even more important, if you get started for free and you're earning from the free position and you're trying to get to a certain point, that means you should be out here sharing more than anybody. Saying, hey, y'all could do this, you could do this. Come on, bro, let me pull your coat to something. Let me get you straight so that you can get up off the streets, get yourself in a safe place. So all that lip professing and all that talking about this and all that job pretending and whatever else y'all do, I'm not really impressed by it. Y'all just talking, talk. Let's do. Walk and talk at the same time if you got to. But don't just talk and then not do something. And I feel like when I offer you something like Carrot Bar, you got to be blind, deaf, and dumb to look at Carrot Bars and say, oh, no, that's not for me. If you look at Carrot Bar and say, I'll check it out, and you don't take no action, now you got to be blind, deaf, and dumb. There's no other way to put that. There's nothing like, that's just, you definitely are not a thinker. And either you're not a thinker, and quite possibly you have no idea what's going on around you, which means that you need to up your studies on everything. So when you look at it, if you're a nation builder in any kind of way, you need to have Carrot Bars. I don't care if you're a house of worship, if you're a church, synagogue, mosque, if you're a group, club, team, I don't care. Whatever it is, action. Yes, baby. Hey, how are you? Did you get parked and everything? So, yes, action. That's it. You have to do something. You can't just sit around and be talking about it. I get tired of people talking. I want to see what you're going to do, because if you do it, if you lock arms with me, lock arms with my brothers and sisters out here in Carrot Bars, then you are going to change your communities. Don't you want that? Ain't you tired of your kids getting killed? Ain't you tired of your daughters on Backpage selling ass for $30, $40? Ain't you tired? Like, you ain't tired of that? Like, I'll be tired. Ain't you tired of the police presence in your neighborhoods that you can't do nothing about? Aren't you tired of all of that stuff? Like, you're not tired of that? Exactly, Avery, you're right. You're used to taking orders. You used to taking orders, and you used to be being treated like a slave. And you so used to it till you allow it. And then you making excuses for why you have to allow it. Oh, well, I can't do this about that because I'll lose my job. That's right, because you're a slave. Because a slave worry about losing his job. A free person don't have to worry about losing their job, because I'm free. I do whatever I want to do, when I want to do it, how I want to do it. So that's the difference. And I know I'm probably talking to y'all for a long time, because I have no idea how long I've been talking. I just felt like I needed to say this and jumped on. But that's it. That's why I never leave Carrot Bars. I'll never leave Carrot Bars, because I have something that allows me to be able to go out every day and save somebody's life, to change somebody's life, to make somebody's life better by putting them in position to take control of, first, their finances, second, their self-development, and third, their financial literacy. What is wrong with that? I can sleep good at night because I don't hurt nobody to make my money. I don't get over on nobody to make my money. I'm all day either prospecting and saving lives, or I'm working with my team and developing the leaders that I need on my team. That's what I do all day, every day. You're right. That's right, honey. I say that all the time too. You know it. Like, if they can tolerate it, they won't change it. I say people will go through anything. They'll go through anything, put themselves through anything, as long as they don't have to change. Even so far as they will surgically remove a part of their body before they change their diet. I hear people say They care more about the quality of gas in their car. Oh, my car don't do nothing but 93, but they care more about the quality of gas in their car than their food that they eat. You care more about what people next door think about you than you care about building wealth. You care more about being hood rich and looking rich than you care about actually being rich. You care more as a woman, you care more about what you can get out of a man and him being your personal ATM machine than you care about loving him and building an empire together with him so that you and he can raise your children, leave a legacy for your children and your children's children on down through the generations. You care more about that. You care more about all these things that don't matter. You care about more about what's on TV than you care about picking up a book and reading and actually educating yourself. You care about more about what's on TV than you care about learning the laws that you don't know how to activate to save yourself from having to deal with some of the situations you see yourself in. And all of that has to do with your freedom. You care more about everything that you should not care about than you care about taking care of yourself. And it ain't even just you. You're leaving and teaching your children to do the same bullshit. But you just want to talk about how things could be better. You'll talk about how things could be better. You want to talk about how rich you are. No, you're not rich if everything you got, everything that's in your possession, you don't own. You don't own anything in your possession because you bought it on borrowed money. Credit is borrowed money. Credit means you're broke. That's what I want you to understand. And so when I'm out and I get to teach people this and I get to help people make better decisions and take better care of themselves, what else is better than that? Because that's how I make my living. And I'm telling you that you can make your living the same way. And by you making your living the same way, you're going to make your communities better because you're sharing the information with the people in your community who need it. They need it. They're dying. The kids are dying. You know, kids are dying. Families are being broken up. All kind of stuff is happening. And looks like it's not cool. Like just think about it this way. If you call somebody your enemy, it's not cool to ask your enemy for food, shelter, and clothing. That's not cool. If you got an enemy that you claim is your enemy, then you should be trying to provide your own food, shelter, or clothing, because anytime, and this is not just in wartime, this is just every day in life. Anytime anybody has to pay for your basic necessities, your life, then you are subject to that person or that entity or that corporation or whatever it is. Anytime somebody's taking care of you and your basic needs, then that means you're subject to them. You don't call any shots. So how do you call shots? By taking care of your damn self. How do you take care of yourself? By building the wealth to do it. How do you build wealth? By making smart money decisions. And that's it. You can then, here in Carrot Bars, you simply keep your money in gold and tell other people to keep their money in gold, and then everybody eats. You take that to the street and change the community. That's it. That's pretty much all I got to say. And that's why I'll never leave Carrot Bars. Never, ever, ever. There's nowhere else for me to go as far as earning a living. There's nothing else that I would rather do than help people. And so I got all of that. I got a bill. I can teach people. I can travel. I can go, be amongst my fellow affiliates. I get out and share this information with people. I'm doing it while I'm living my life, so I don't have to go anywhere, be anywhere. I'm not attached to a clock or anybody else's rules about how I do what, and that's good. And then I'm saving lives every day. Every day, somebody's life is touched by the information that I give them. And every time someone comes into this and starts to activate and use this money system, I've helped somebody build wealth for themselves and economically empower their household. And that is the most important thing to me. It is the most important thing to me. I'll build wealth. I'll achieve wealth because of that. But the most important thing to me is helping everybody else around me to build. With that being said, y'all, I'm thankful. Thank you everybody that come on. Macedon. Thank you, Antoine. Hey baby, Avery, you know you're awesome. Thank you for coming on. I see David Stevens. Don't know you quite, but glad you're here. Shalai, saw you on here. I see so many of you. Thank you all for coming on and sharing this time with me. You know, share the video. With that, peace, power, and prosperity, y'all. I'm out. Out.